You feel that? That's called playerism. I'm on the scene, a player clean, poker face, 4 queens. I got 4 of a kind on everything. Dig this, living elite. I don't feel complete without kicking at my feet in a Rolls Royce every week. Maybe this is deep. Listen close when I speak. I need to at least, cause I'm too much. I'll be a fool if I love him. You'll be a fool if you trust him. Here with my niggas, we keeping it gangsta. Yeah, I'm a slayer, I'm just keeping it player. I'm fucking her now, we're man eating it later. That's maybe why he is a hater. I'm wearing all black like I'm being a raider. You talk to police, we call you a traitor. I'm running the city, they call me for favors. I'm running the city, they call me the mayor. Medical Whitney, my street presidential. She give me the canary diamonds as I'm flying. Canary Islands on a one-way. Fresh Easter Sunday. Yes, I touched the runway. I'm blessed. She looks like she just left the runway. She wanna stay with me in this Disney fantasy and never go home like a runaway.
I'll be up before the daylight, that's why I'm getting paid, right? I'll be all in. I work hard and play hard until I hit the graveyard. I'll be all in.
I am going to be who I truly am because I am remarkable. And I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Peace to the saints. It's the one and only. It's the big homie. Fax Kellerman. Stephen 8 p.m. Your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. The talk of the internet. Marquett Devon Burton. The saint and the sinner. Giving you lessons from oh, you know what it is. Now, today's lecture will be one you can send to your old lady. Yes, indeed. It's almost like a Bill of Rights for men. I'm going to say all the things you wish you could tell her. So when you get annoyed by her, just play this to her. You heard me? We're going to go through 20 things that women do that men hate. And low key is more than 20 because we got sub points sometimes. We got some sub points. Yes, we're going to get into it. And if for some strange reason you think I didn't miss something that was critical to put on this list of 20 things, so we don't want the list to be too long, go ahead and send it in. And we are indeed making an official code of conduct for these ladies. And I didn't pick things that were specific to your woman. I picked things that are general to most women, that most of them do. You know, some guys that got real specific on the list when I said, let me know some things you don't like that women do. Kat was like, I ain't gonna name no names. Kat was like, when she eat too much and then don't want to work out and then get mad at you because you're not attracted to her. I was like, damn, that sounds real specific, bro. You did everything short of put her name in the comment. So we're gonna go into those, but first let us start with one of our traditions, which is to show love to those who show love to us. Hit me.
First, we have Ivan. He came in offline. He said, question for the next live. There's a group called the Kia Boys. If you've heard of them, you can skip everything within the parentheses.
I haven't.
Okay. The Kia Boys are a group of underage males, some mostly teenagers, but some young as 9. They steal 2020 to 2021 model Kia cars, then joyride in the cars. Recently, there was a video of a group of them after crashing while joyriding. The video was very graphic, too graphic for YouTube. People seem to be split. Half are calling it justice. The other half are saying that they didn't deserve their fate because they weren't adults. To my knowledge, they didn't die, but were seriously injured. As I said, the video was graphic. My question is, what's your opinion on this? Did they get what they deserve because they were doing wrong, or is their situation a tragedy because of their age?
Thank you for that question. Number one, the loss of human life generally is tragic. Unless you're talking about pedophiles or the like, then hey, they get what they get. But certainly we should have respect for human life. That's number one. People who are hard-hearted, they really misrepresent themselves when they act as though it's a good thing when someone experiences misfortune. That does not speak well of anyone to get happy when someone else is suffering. Because they're children, does that mean that they're innocent? No. And unfortunately, some children are beyond repair. Would I celebrate? No, that's not in my nature. Would I be sad? Nah, probably not. Um, so there's that. I would hope that they could be reformed and helped. It's worth a try. But if you find that they can't, then we got to do what we have to do as a society, which might involve jailing them, or it might involve taking on a more permanent solution. But in short, my general sentiment is that it's a sad thing to see anyone get into a car accident, especially children. And we know that the true father was on the part of the parents. And we can only see those children as a product of poor parenting. And really, our heart should go out to them rather than us looking down on them. Thank you for sharing that.
Jay Beer came in on Cash App and said, "Peace to the Saints."
Peace to the saints.
Kevin on Cash App also says, "Peace to the Saints tuition."
Peace to the saints.
We have Johnny came in with tuition.
Johnny.
On PayPal, we also have Rayshawn said, "Peace to the Saints. I've recently distanced myself from a relationship of 7 years.
Woo.
We met when we were 19 and have been living together ever since.
Wow.
But recently there has been a lot of arguing, mostly over her thinking I'm rude or lacking emotional support. I feel like we're growing apart, but find myself feeling down because every argument we do have feels like it could have been avoided. We're both trying to become better mentally and physically, but find ourselves disagreeing on most topics. I know there's plenty of women out there, but I've been thinking we can fix our relationship. Is this worth the effort, or shall I move on? Thank you."
It's up to you. I mean, if you think that you can get a better woman, go get a better woman. You're still young. There's no need to act like you have kids. Did he say he had kids with her?
He didn't say that.
Yeah, if you think you can get a better woman, go get you a better woman. I always remind you to go for the best. It is, loyalty is important, but once you get locked in with a female, if you're monogamous, you have one woman for the rest of your years. So you should get the best one. So yeah, carry on.
Okay, Craig sent a Cash App. He said, "Peace to the Saints tuition."
Peace to the saints.
We have OH. He said, "Welcome to Amsterdam. Peace to the Saints."
Peace to the saints, and thank you very much.
And I'm putting this one on screen. He sent it before we made the announcement.
Indeed.
We're reading Super Chats $6 and above, just due to timeline.
Yes.
And we're going to keep the stream going as long as support is coming.
Per usual.
We have Brad said, "Peace to the Saints. Appreciate the game and the ism."
Thank you very much, Brad. And today we got a lot of game and ism, and this is good for the men and the women, especially the women. You dig? So if you got a wife, a girlfriend, a side piece, a main piece, any piece, you're going to want her to hear this. You dig?
Dwayne said, "It's the Velvet Pimpin'."
The Velvet Pimpin'.
Peace to the Saints.
Man, I have many identities. You heard me?
That is velvet.
The Floral Pimpin', the Velvet Pimpin', the Mariachi Pimpin'. You heard me? It's like alternate egos. Is that what they call them? Alternate ego?
Yeah, personalities.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Okay, Major Mind and Soul said, "Peace to the Saints and tuition. Women who don't have self-respect is a big no."
That's a complex one right there. That's a complex one. You caught up?
No.
Let's get it.
Matthew said, "Peace to the Saints."
Peace to the
Just want to
saints.
acknowledge Matthew for.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Matthew, folks. You'll see on our community tab we posted that Matthew has very kindly offered to give up one of his monthly consultations so that another saint can experience that. One of our members at patreon.com/the center. So he's offering even more benefits and taking care of the family. So that's really neat. And this will be for someone who.
And the person's been selected.
And the person's been selected. Really?
It's Austin. Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations to Austin. May you all thank Matthew and congratulate Austin.
Okay, Dante said, "Peace to the Saints tuition."
Peace to the saints. And I don't want to be impolite. For those of you who would like to schedule your own consultation, you can do so at marquettism.com. And we're not barring anyone from being able to do it themselves. It's just Matthew was kind enough to give his to someone else.
Okay, Maurice sent $50.
Baller alert.
He said, "Peace to the Saints, paying what I owe in tuition to the good brother Quet."
Appreciate that, Maurice. Thank you very much. And good to see that prosperity.
Yeah.
Shout out to the ballers in the building.
And just another reminder, reading $6 and above.
Indeed.
Carry on.
All right. So I want you all first to know, and for the ladies watching as well, that this list is not in the order of importance or in the order of annoyance, meaning that I'm not starting off with the things that annoy the hell out of us the most. We just gonna go through, and I will try to emphasize so you get a sense of how much these things piss us off, and hopefully you can stop doing them. Yes, I'm pleading. Okay, let's get this work.
Okay, before we get this work, we have Kevin. This is the Kevin that came to that first conference from
Okay.
Ohio. He said, "Peace to the
Oh
saints."
yeah, shout out to Kevin, and you need to look in the mirror.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
Fit John said, "Love the new intro."
Appreciate it. Shout out to the Saint who put that together. Actually, I need to tap in with him when I get a second because that is a really cool intro. So I got a list of 20 items. Ladies, I have a list of 20 things that men absolutely hate when you do these things. And I really do mean hate it, okay? So pay attention and try your best not to do these things. Now, check this out. There's some things you guys do that we absolutely hate that are not on this list. And the reason I didn't put it on this list is because I know you ain't going to change. You hear me? I know even if we tell you, you still going to keep doing it. Yeah, I ain't gonna get into that. But anyways, we're gonna get to the list. Here we go. Number one, not being thankful / being entitled. See, now, fortunately, I don't really have to deal with this one, but this is a big one, and I've observed it a lot. I've experienced it before. And when we say not being thankful, it's like, oh, so you just ate that food in that restaurant, but you ain't say thank you though. Oh, like that check came, but you had to go to the bathroom all of a sudden, though. But when you came back, that check was paid, but you couldn't even say thank you, though. Like, wow, I didn't know like you were the Queen of England, and it's like a privilege for me to pay for your food. Like, I didn't know you're like a billionaire, and like I'm just trying to get some mentorship, and so I'm paying for your food as a token of my appreciation. Like, who are you, scallywag, to be here eating off of me, and you don't even have the decency to say a simple thank you? So yeah, that's number one. You're not entitled to a thing, because guess what? Low key, the only reason chicks get a lot of free stuff is because you have a vagina, okay? But guess what? Every female has a vagina, so go ahead and say thank you. All right.
On PayPal, Ivan said, "Shout out to Matthew and congratulations, Austin."
Wow, that's a real one. Indeed. Shout out to Ivan. Shout out to Matthew. Shout out to Austin. Number two, gossip. This is a good one because women tend to gossip, but you know when it gets really bad, ladies, when it's really annoying is when you start gossiping, but you want to bring us in like we're your gossip buddy. Nah, I'm not interested in you talking about that one girl that I thought was your friend. I really am not interested in you talking about your family members because now you're trying to set me up for the okie doke. You hear me? Because you talking negatively about your sister or your brother or your mother or your father. And if I go ahead and join in on that, then I really look bad because now I'm talking about your family. So that gossip is a major trap. And gentlemen, I want to advise you when they start that, you got to really stop them early. That gossip is a terrible thing. Hate to hear it.
Anthony said, "Peace to the saints. Hey, Marquett, I'm 22 years old. I live with my parents, and my credit score is close to 800. People tell me that's good, but I'm not really sure how to utilize it to grow wealth. Any advice?"
You cannot use your credit score to grow wealth. Anyone who tells you that is completely wrong and probably also broke. You can utilize credit to preserve wealth or to preserve cash liquidity, but you cannot use credit to grow wealth. You should never take out a loan or a personal loan to finance a business. Hence, credit is not going to be something that'll help you grow wealth. And also, I would recommend in general that you don't use credit until you have so much money that you don't need it. And at that point, you're just leveraging credit to maintain cash liquidity. Because at the end of the day, who wants to pay for a Rolls Royce cash, or you know what I'm saying? At that point, you're just using it to maintain cash flow. Thank you for that note. Number three. Now, here's a big one, ladies. You should move this one up toward the top of the list of things not to do. This one is called guy friends. Oh, that's just my friend. Who? What? Yeah, that's my friend Milton. Yeah, look here. Look, Milton's your friend, but if he smashed before, then I'm gonna go ahead and say you got to take him off the friends list if he didn't smash before. That's number one. Oh, and side note, while we on the topic of smashing, don't you ever in life bring me around somebody that didn't smash and don't let me know that they smashed. I don't want to be around here looking like Boo Boo the Fool, right? I'm sitting right next to this dude. You saying he's your friend and he used to beat it down on the low. Just because he ain't hitting no more, don't mean like all three of us is going to be kicking it like the Brady Bunch. Nah, I can't go like that, love. So if you didn't smash before, I'm going to need you to give me a heads up. Now, to the main point of this one, guy friends. Yeah, you shouldn't have any of those. It's weird, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, a guy who's feminine enough to want to be your friend, he probably guzzling Skittles. Don't bring him around me anyways just because of that. Moreover, if the guy is your friend and he ain't guzzling Skittles, see, that's also inappropriate because he's trying to smash. Only reason he's your friend is because you ain't letting him smash. But what he really considers this is limbo. You dig? He's just trying to figure out when he could get his smash in. Either when I do something I done pissed you off, then he go ahead and catch you slipping on the low off the rebound tip, or we go on a break, right? Which is low key. Don't you ever go on a break with your girl. When she want to go on a break, guess what? She getting maxed out. Yeah, and then she gonna come back to you and act like ain't nothing happened. Then one day she might tell you about it and say, "Well, we was on the break, we wasn't together." Oh yeah, well shoot, look, that's why you don't never go back. Once it's over, baby. You gotta go. You dig? I gotta deport you about this country. You gotta leave the United States of Marquett, California. It's all over, baby. Now, guy friends, we out. Now let me go ahead and hit the sub point on it. Being too friendly. Look, I ain't saying you need to Debo everybody. I ain't saying you need to go Helen Keller, deaf, dumb, and blind, can't see no evil, hear no evil. I'm just saying I don't need you being all extra friendly. Thank you. Nah, shorty. Keep thank you just to the normal amount of syllables. Don't be extending it out all long and stuff. Just say thank you one time. You heard me? And we're going to go ahead about our business. You don't need to be all up in the cashier's face saying thank you all long and sweet like that. Say thank you, grab your goddamn groceries, and we up out of here. Don't be in Whole Foods all like that. No. So don't be too friendly. Keep yourself under control. Stay low key. Personally, I like how niqabis get down. You dig? They didn't look like a ninja. They just got their eyes out. They don't say nothing to nobody. You don't know what they look like. They damn near like the shadow. They don't move. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, no guy friends. Don't be too damn friendly.
Okay, we have, this is a different Matthew, sent a cash app. He sent $50.
Baller alert.
He said peace to the Saints tuition.
Peace to the Saints. Oh, here's number 4. This is a good one right here because chicks violate this and they don't even know they violating it. And that's why I'm so happy to put this one out there. Ladies, put this one toward the top of your list number as well. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is number 1 so far. Number 2 was them guy friends. That's kind of weird. But number 1 is this one. Don't tell my business. No. Don't tell my business. First off, number 1 mistake you guys make is you told her your business. As soon as you told her your business, you done told the whole world your business. You see, I got secrets I'm gonna die with. Yeah, you ain't a real man if you ain't never did nothing and never told nobody about it. Problem is, a lot of y'all guys be hanging out with dudes like that, your butt buddy, and you can't keep a secret. You over here telling them everything. You also telling the broad everything when you pillow talking. Learn how to sit down and shut up sometimes as a man. See, you guys be dry snitching and snitching on yourself, acting like these rappers nowadays. That's first and foremost for the gentlemen. Now, for the ladies, if you happen to get a little bit of whiff of some secretive business, you dig? I don't need you putting it out there for the whole world to know about, okay? Oh, and just side note, if the police ever get involved in anything, you don't know nothing. You don't even know your own name. You don't know a damn thing. They're going to have to call somebody up like you special ed, okay? Yeah, and I got some chicks around me. I ain't going to name no names or point no damn fingers. They're like, I know, don't talk to the police. But they talk so much, I already know they're going to fall down. You dig? I know they're going to crack. So point is, ladies, if the police involved, don't say a goddamn thing. But more importantly, when I say don't tell my business, don't tell my business to your girlfriends. She ain't in our relationship. It's just me and you, darling. It's one-on-one. Now, if she want to be in a relationship and she look, all right, go ahead and push shorty on. You dig? Upgrade her. Bring her to the family properly, but don't just have her on the periphery all up in my goddamn business. Oh, moreover, in addition to her, she ain't the only one. Keep your goddamn parents out of my business, you okay? Yeah, I don't care what kind of business we talking about. Financial business, what my hobbies are, whatever it is. Yeah, keep them in the dark. I want everybody in the dark. Yes, indeed. I want it like a campground. Everything dark. Don't nobody need to know what's going on with the big homie. If they want to know, they can ask me. When they inquire about me, you go ahead and say, oh, well, you would have to ask Marquett about that. That's a good line for y'all to memorize. Whatever your man's name is, you'd have to ask him about that. Yeah, that's a great line right there. And that'll allow me to decide if I want somebody in my business. And guess what? Generally, I don't. I don't even want you in my business, love. So half the time, if something is going on and you ask me about it and I don't want to talk about it, go ahead and leave that where that is, okay? Leave that where that is. And other thing you should also consider, and this is for my people who earn it the hard way. Look here, baby. Sometimes if I tell you some things that you don't need to know, now you're an accessory to a crime. Now you're a co-conspirator to a crime. So check this out. You'd be better off left in the dark, okay? So sit down and shut up. All right, there you go with that one. Don't have my business in the streets. Go ahead.
Hey, Justin said, what are signs that a boxing coach has no concern for your personal safety? I always spar people above my weight class.
Well, if you're training for a fight, I mean, you're actually training for a fight, a competitive fight that is going to be on your record as an amateur boxer, or you're training for a professional fight, then yeah, it's reasonable to spar people above your weight class so that you can get in some real rounds. Now, if you're not training for anything, they just happen to consistently have you fighting people above your weight class and you're not a high skill fighter, that would be strange. You see, if you're high skill, it's fine. You even on Instagram, you can go through my highlights and click boxing, and you'll see pretty much all the guys I'm sparring are heavyweights. And I'm not a heavyweight, right? I'm a light heavyweight, but it's because I have enough skill to deal with these guys and enough defensive skill to not get hurt. So if you're not competing for anything and they keep putting you in there with guys who are significantly bigger and you getting tuned up, yeah, they don't care about you. And most gyms are like that. So I'm glad you're being thoughtful about that one.
Okay, Joshua bought the St. Center duffel bag.
Okay, shout out. I got mine with me as well. Actually, it's literally sitting right here, right next to me. Here's another one. And this one, gentlemen, I'm just bringing it up, but I'm not bringing it up with any level of confidence that women are actually about to take this to heart and get it done. As I said, I had to leave a number of things off this list because we just know women are not about to do it. Here's one that they probably not about to do, but we can all have hopes and dreams, right? Is it Sunday, right? It's Sunday?
Yeah.
Make a prayer. Okay. Take accountability. One of the things we hate is when you won't take accountability, aka responsibility, aka admit when you're wrong, aka say, you know what, that was my fault, or I was wrong. Those kind of things, those kind of words. Almost never hear a woman say them. And if they do, they're gonna go ahead and wait like 9 days after it didn't happen. Oh, like back in 2020, during COVID, there's this one time you said I had did this and I said I didn't. I really did that. I know you did. Anyways, take accountability. Quit lying. If you're wrong, say you're wrong. It's gonna save us all time. They probably ain't gonna do that. I'm just throwing it out there. They probably ain't gonna do that. That shouldn't even be on the list. Anyways, number 6. This is an important one right here, and this is very annoying to men. I said it's probably this is somewhere in the top 5, toward the bottom though. Bragging about study/work. Now, if you're a student and you study long hours, fantastic. One thing we hate to hear from women is when they're saying, I work 2 jobs. Shorty, I wouldn't care if you work 30 jobs. What that got to do with me, especially if you ain't giving me the check? Don't nobody care. Furthermore, if you feel the need to brag about doing basic things, if you're a student, you should study. Why do I care how many hours you study? If you're an adult, you should work. Why do I care how hard you work? See, women are so used to getting things for free. When they have to earn something, they damn near feel like they did something special. Yeah, they sit on a gold mine. They usually use their vagina to earn most of the things or get most of the things that they have in life. When they actually work, they feel like it's brag worthy. No, it's not, love. And more importantly, I really don't want to hear about your job. I don't want to hear you brag about your job. I don't want to hear you complain about your job. I don't want to hear about your coworkers. I damn near don't even want to hear about your accomplishments unless you're getting paid for it and we can use it for something. Otherwise, keep it to yourself. Yeah, I think this goes back to that throwback when men used to go out and work and women would be at home. That was probably a good time because you come home and your woman has stories, because women always have stories and they're generally too damn long anyways. They don't even go anywhere. It's like they didn't go to elementary school where they teach you like there's a beginning, middle, and end, and it's like a climax to the plot, then a resolution. Women forget about the damn resolution. They be telling stories. You'd be like 4 hours into the story. I'm like, damn, she thinks she's Steven Spielberg out here. She done made a whole damn movie. I'm like, what's the point of this? No point. That's the amazing thing about women. Like, there can be like no point to what they're saying. It's like they're immortals. It's like they think they're going to live forever. Time has no value. They just keep spending it. Anyways, point is this though, about this one is, we don't want to hear about your job. Okay. We don't want to hear about your job or your coworkers. We really don't care. And you know what? Shout out to the men who are grimy like me. When you got you a good woman and you have a high level of honesty and trust between you, the two of you, every now and then you could just tell them, honey, 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 honey. Oh, that's so great. Except it's not great. I don't care. Okay, stop that. Let's go on to the next topic. I'm hungry, by the way. Okay. Anyways, now, next one.
Okay, JRK said peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
And Francisco just got the Black Box ebooks from marquettism.com.
Shout out to Francisco. That's going to be a great read for you. And the ebook is very low cost. So for those of you who haven't read the Black Box, I recommend it on ebook. You can get it at marquettism.com, as we said. This one is one of those ones that I know you guys are probably suffering through right now. And this is called hoe friends. Well, here's the thing. If your girl got hoe friends, I hate to break it to you, gentlemen, she might also be a hoe. As we know, birds of a feather flock together. And the funny thing about women is that they'll call their friends hoes and like even make fun of their friends' hoe activities as though they don't live by the same philosophy, right? It's crazy. It's like you talking about her like she ain't your friend. Like y'all didn't used to go out together and do the same stuff. Yeah, shorty, I'm not buying your story. But here's the thing. You with the girl, it is what it is. You in there. She got these hoe friends, and you just wish she wouldn't have these hoe friends because in your mind, you're thinking she's gonna be more inclined to do hoe activities and have hoe tendencies when she hanging out with hoes, literally, right? You dig? So you want the hoe friends out the picture. And guess what? Let me go ahead and give you men some advice here. See, you thought this list was gonna be all about women. I got you, bro. You are not about to replace her friends, and she will sooner replace you than she replaces those friends. Okay? Because 9 out of 9, they were there before you. 9 out of 9, they'd be there after you. Don't try to replace them friends. You're only going to embrace a struggle that you won't win, okay? If her friends are hoes, it is what it is.
Okay, we have Marcus said, I'm the only black male in an office full of Caucasian women. I dislike the environment and don't fit in.
Yeah.
What's the best way to ask for a transfer to a different team? Peace to the saints.
I would probably ask in writing politely and think of how to make it sound good. Which is to say something like, hey, I'm interested to go onto this team. I think it'll provide me more opportunities for advancement, or this team has some people I want to learn from. But I certainly wouldn't make it a complaint or racialize it if you can avoid it. Good luck with that. And I would advise you also when you're working with a bunch of women, especially white women, you do not want to say what's on your actual mind. You did. You might want to keep quiet or, kind of like gift wrap things for them. They're sensitive.
Okay, we have 7G Phil said, tuition, peace saint, my name is Ivan. I sent a super chat in a few weeks ago saying I had heard of you for the first time. Let me just say I'm very blessed to say that I'm now part of Assassin. Thanks for all you do. Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints. Thank you very much for that kind word, Ivan. And may everyone, just make sure you guys connect with all the new men and women who come into this thing of ours. We really want it to be a close-knit family. As you know, I've been observing humankind in my travels around the world this year, and I see sometimes whether I'm in the Middle East or Europe or even Asia, I see a lot of Muslims, and you can tell that they're Muslim by their clothing, and they see each other and don't even say hello. Let us never be like that.
And speaking of new members, for people and new members on Patreon, there is going to be the orientation.
Oh yes, we have orientation on the 3rd. So if you've not gone through new member orientation, definitely drop in. It'll be posted on the member websites. Learn about your benefits and get the link to the Discord and all that good stuff.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, here we go. Oh, this is a good one right here. Yes, number 8. And gentlemen, make sure you play this one over and over and over for your ladies. It's going to take time to sink in right here. Remind them the name of the game is Simon Says. And guess who's Simon? Yeah, one thing we hate is when you fail to follow directions. Yeah, that's right. Follow directions. Oh, hey, and check this out. When I say the direction, I don't want you to follow it when you feel like it. Generally, I want you to follow it now. Yeah, ASAP, meaning as soon as possible. So if I ask you to do something, I kind of wanted you to do it when I asked you to do it. Yeah, not when you felt like doing it. So generally speaking, when I gave the request, that's when you should complete the mission, okay? Yeah. not when you feel like it. That's the critical piece right there. Now, I'm not trying to be a tyrant. I don't advise any of you guys to be tyrants, but what I am saying is that I asked you for a reason. Time is valuable and time moves quickly. And I usually want you to do that right now. If for some reason, ladies, you can't do that right now, I'm going to need you to say, hey, I can't do that right now. I'm doing this. I'll be finished in about 8 minutes. And I'm going to get straight to that task. And I'm going to need you to actually do it. Okay.
Okay, BMS Vortex said, if you're the right man, women will be what we want and need for them to be. No need for negotiation when you run things. If she's got 4 out of 20 of these traits, she doesn't qualify anyways.
There's some truth there. One thing I would have to question is when you state that if you're the right man. Well, the first question is, well, what do you mean by the right man? If by that you mean if you're the man that she thinks is right for her or the man she wants. When you say she'll give you what you want and need, well, there's some women who would make every effort to give you what you say you want and need, but they just can't deliver. They might not have the IQ, they might not have the upbringing, they might not have the mental stability. They'll make the effort, but they'll fall short. And that's what we really have to be conscious of is, you're not getting an A for effort out here, baby. If you can't get the job done, I'm gonna have to switch out, pull somebody off the bench, put them in the game. Because you wanting to be the right woman for me ain't good enough. You actually have to be able to get things done. So that's a major thing we want to consider. Thank you for that.
Carry on.
Oh, this is a common one right here. Ladies, pay attention to this one because this is a point with subpoints right here. Asking why. Asking why. Look, if I ask you to do something, generally, I just want you to do it. You heard me? I ain't asking you to give me a goddamn quiz. If I ask you to do something, I'm not trying to play 21 questions. If I ask you to do something, I don't need you going to get a Blues Clues trying to figure things out and figure out why I'm asking you. Nah, I just need you to do it. So all this why or well, why do you say that? Or asking me a question back. Nah, we ain't gonna rock like that. I'm gonna just need you to just do what I said. Okay. Generally speaking, I'm not saying you don't get to have your own voice or express yourself, but if you choose to have me as your man, which is your leader, for me to lead, you need to also follow. It's a relationship. We both have our separate parts. And I'm not saying you can't ask questions. It's a great value to have an intelligent woman who can ask appropriate questions at the appropriate time. But every time, dang, that ain't the appropriate time. Furthermore, asking questions about things that are simple, nah, that ain't gonna go like that. In fact, I don't even really like a woman asking me like what I want to eat. It's like, shorty, we done been together for this many months. I'm gonna need you to just rock with it. My general dietary restrictions. Don't hit me with no swine. Don't hit me with no okra, no soda, only natural juice if it gotta go like that. Go ahead and make some decisions. Don't ask me what I want to eat. Just bring the food out. Like we need to get all this questioning out the picture because we got bigger fish to fry. Okay, let's make the simple things simple. Don't make things complex. Ladies, keep it simple. Asking me all these deep questions.
Okay, we have Major Mind and Soul says, when she messes up and tries to flip it on you like it's your fault.
That's funny. They do that. They do that. Boy, they do that. Yeah. Recently a young lady, I had asked her to do something and she got it done, but she didn't get it done quite right. And then turned around and said, hey, you had asked me to do this. I was blow drying my hair. You can't ask me to do things while I'm blow drying my hair. I have to do one thing at a time. I have to finish blow drying my hair. And then you can ask me. In my head, I was dying laughing. I was like, shorty, you get up out of here with that. Like, look, just because you made a mistake, just say you made a mistake. Don't be like, I was blow drying my hair at the time. Like, is that a complex task or something? Like, come on now. You blow drying your hair didn't have anything to do with you making that mistake. It had nothing to do with the timing I asked you. You're making excuses, failing to take personal responsibility and accountability, which is something that women don't do. And one thing I want to advise you, gentlemen, is that an enduring romantic relationship is about you accepting things that you don't like and not trying to change them because they're not going to change. Like one thing, if the chick has most of these good qualities, some other things I'm gonna just let it go. Like her not taking accountability and responsibility, I'm gonna just let it go. Why? Because we're not business partners and she's not a man. I don't expect her to be a man of her word. I don't expect her to be an honorable man. She's not a man. So I ain't expecting her to take accountability and responsibility. Every now and then I kind of mess up and be like, you dead wrong. Just admit that you're wrong. See, that's me messing up. She's not about to admit that. So we're gonna just need to go on to the next topic. There's sometimes I just go on a walk. They didn't sit me over the edge, piss me off. I just go on a walk. And I walk until I'm not mad anymore. Then I come back. I don't say, hey, I'm leaving. I just go on a walk and then come back when I'm not mad no more. I'm not even gonna give you a situation. You guys been there. You know what it is when they done pissed you off. I recommend you go on a walk. You fail to go on that walk, you might stay at home and end up going Ike Turner, and that ain't the right way. You caught up?
Mm-hmm.
Carrying on. Yeah, failing to follow directions when I asked you, not when you want to do it, and then asking too many questions, namely why. The answer generally is because I said so. Now let's go ahead and get that done. Now here's the thing. The worst thing they can also do is, and this is very feminine, is to give too many options. You see, men will be like, hey, I'll have some French fries. She'll be like, okay, sure thing. Would you like fat fries or skinny fries? Crinkly fries or traditional fries with the skin on? You want seasoning, salt, Lowry's, pepper, salt? I'm like, goddamn, just make me some French fries. I don't need all these options. And that's how the female mind works, with all these different tabs open in their mental browser. At the same time, these tabs are open. While men, we operate on one tab, that primary one. You did? We trying to figure things out one at a time. And they trying to think through 30 different equations. Nah, love, don't give too many options. Let's just carry on. And this is the worst thing. When they're given all those options, what they're really doing is casting doubt. And when they cast doubt, this is one of the major reasons. You'll say something like, you know what? That was a great house we just looked at. Let's buy that house. I think that'll be a good house for us to start our family in. And she's like, yeah, that was a good house, but what do you think about the house that was right next door to it? Shorty, we already like walked through every house on this block. And I just said, after we've seen all those houses and we discussed everything, we just said we're going to buy this one. Like, why are you asking me about the one next to it? Then in your head, you're like, oh, dang, like, is the one next to it actually nice? Like, all right, let's go look in it again. And now they're making you question your decision when it's really not necessary. So don't allow her doubt to be imposed upon you. They're riddled with doubt.
Kate Kirk said, how do I leave my relationship while my girl is a senior in high school and I'm a first semester college student? How do I know she respects me? Also, how do I maintain the relationship long term?
Kirk, bruh, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Look, college and took a lot of us out the game, whether she went to college first or we went to college first. That distance is very difficult, especially for two individuals who haven't reached a certain level of maturity. And I'll share a quick story. And this is why it's so important to be able to get guidance from an older man who's experienced, who's been there, and who can give you a level of calmness and set your expectations appropriately. Quick story. I was dating this turbo thick red bone, super fine. And she went off to college before me. She was a year older than me. Bad. She went off to college. And I remember talking to her on the phone, and she had said something that I expected her to hold to. She says, oh, I'm just here. And she was at an elite university, mind you. She went to private schools, grew up very wealthy. Father's a cancer doctor, mother was a nurse, and she was expected to perform. So she was at a elite university, and she says, you know what, Marquett, I'm just here to study. All I want to do is study and get good grades. I don't drink. I'm not going to be going to parties. So you don't have to worry about that at all. And I was like, all right, for sure. And mind you, I wasn't even tripping off of her going to parties off the rip. But then when she said that, my expectation was that she wouldn't be going. She would keep her word. Now, side note, a mature man would have told me, Marquette, this is a 18-year-old girl. She's going to go get lit. That's what they do at that age. A mature man could have said, "Hey, bruh, shorty in college. I don't care how long you thought that, how strong and long that relationship was. It low key, it don't matter no more." So, anyways, next thing you know, she's at, it's Friday night. You bang her line. "Hey, what you up to?" She answered the phone. It's loud as hell in the background. You heard me? In the background, you hear, "It's like getting hot in here." They just get low, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it one more time. You're like, "Damn, bitch, where are you at? The library is cracking, huh? Like, I thought you just studying this stuff." "Oh, I don't want to be antisocial. Like, my friend from my chemistry class invited me out. So I just went to this party real quick. Hey, can I call you back? It's really loud in here." You're like, "All right, for sure." You don't get a call back that day, right? You get like a text the next morning type stuff. And then you're kind of like mad because you're like, "Wow, B, you said you was gonna call me back." Well, first off, you said you wasn't gonna be at the party, but you at the party. You ain't even tell me you was going to the party. I just happened to find out because I just happened to call you. Then you said you was gonna call me back, but you didn't call me back. Then you went ahead and text me the next day. So you all sorts of mad. You ain't got to go through all that if you have appropriate expectations. So I say that to say this. Number one, you're in college, she's in high school. That's an L right there. Doesn't make it impossible, just makes it improbable. Then you say, "How do I know she respects me?" Well, generally speaking, if you're in the relationship and you can't ascertain that, that would suggest that she's disrespecting you. If she's not disrespecting you, then theoretically she respects you. You don't need her to say it or to prove it. It is what it is. And you're right. How do I maintain the relationship long term? Well, you got to hope that her goal is to maintain the relationship long term. You see, the woman should have the greater interest in maintaining the relationship long term. After all, they're the ones that get clingy, they're the emotional ones. If you're more invested in that concept, that's not a good sign. So you shouldn't be so worried about how do you maintain the relationship long term. You should be concerned with, does she want to maintain the relationship long term? Then it's going to be straight. You did.
Okay, Linus came in on PayPal. He said, "Hey Marquette, you said before that when doctor filling a woman, one of the questions you ask her is how her last relationship went. However, I've heard from other dating coaches that this is a bad idea, especially if the woman hasn't gotten over her ex yet. Thoughts?"
Well, first off, I'm not a dating coach. I'm a super player. You dig? These dating coaches are nerds. They read books and they get advice from other nerds and they read the other nerds' books. I'm a super player, man. Like, I really be out here. And when I say out here, I'm talking about everywhere. I'm in every place like space. So what I mean is that, what dating coach who's dated chicks at every income strata? You heard me, from the broke hood rats to the ones who are heirs to serious fortune, heiresses, you dig? From the Jewish ones to the hijabis, you dig? Uh, Chicks who speak Farsi as a first language, man, I can barely communicate with Shorty. So I say that to say the breadth of experience from the bottom of the map to the top of the map, there's nothing like it. So do understand this. When I say you want to hear about that ex-boyfriend, if she's not over the ex-boyfriend, your dating coach says, "Well, if she's not over the ex-boyfriend, this is not a good thing to ask her about." That's dumb, because now you have a spot of information that you're ignorant of. And if she's not over the ex-boyfriend and you're not inquiring about it to find that out, now you're dealing with a girl who's calling you, and then when she got off the phone with you, she called her ex-boyfriend. Or you're dealing with a chick who might talk to you, and when she got off the phone with you, then her ex-boyfriend is coming to her house, or she going to his house. If she's not over the ex-boyfriend, Dr. Filling her is the most appropriate thing to do, so that you have that information, so you can put baby on ice if it's appropriate. Say, "Hey, love, seem like you still got something going on with Tyrone. Hey, won't you and Roni figure that out? Come holla at a boss when y'all get that cleared up." You dig? Because what you don't want to do is be diving in that goo. You dig? That goo that Tyrone then left over because he didn't wore her out before she showed up to you. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense for you to be ignorant about anything. You're always going to be more effective with more information. As the master Sun Tzu states, prior information enables, meaning the more intelligence you have on a situation, the more likely you are to behave effectively and strategically, because you know what's on the battlefield. It's like trying to play chess without seeing the pieces on the board when you don't have the information. Now, there are ways to go about things. So the method is important, right? Like, you're not going to ask her about her ex in ways that are going to send her into a trauma state, right? But keep it playful. Make sure you get the information. Don't make it feel like an interview, and then move from there.
Okay, Joshua was prosperous. Earlier in the stream, he bought the Saint Center duffel bag, and now he just bought the audiobook.
Oh, shout out. Yeah. And that's a good piece right there. And another Saint had emailed me about the audiobooks. I need to get back with him. And we just emptied out our Patreon inbox today. So, if you're a member, you sent us a message. We have responded to you. So thank you for those notes. And we always make sure that we're caught up.
Carry on.
My contacts are getting dry. All right, Saints, we got some more work here. It's a real list, you dig?
Do you have dropped somewhere?
Probably. Yes, number 11. Long story / talking too much. And I can really shout out the women who are respectful enough and well raised enough that when you tell them they're talking too much, they can say, "You're right," and then shut up. Oh, it's such a beautiful thing. Some women get offended if you tell them to shut up or that they're talking. You shouldn't tell them to shut up. You get what I'm saying? If you tell them that they're talking too much, like they get offended. It's like, shorty, like, you're a really selfish person. You're a me monster to feel like what you have to say is so important that you're going to tell it to someone even when they don't want to hear it. Like, that's terrible. Me, if I'm teaching and the students don't want to learn, hey, class over. Y'all could go. Because I'm not so self-interested that I want to hear my own voice. When I'm imparting knowledge, I already have the knowledge. If you don't want it, cool, we can stop it right here. I love me some good silence. Yeah, I love some silence. But it's the arrogant person that wants to keep talking even when the audience doesn't want to listen. So I say that to say she was raised well if A, she's aware of it, or B, you tell her like, hey, damn, you still talking. And she says, oh, my bad. That means her daddy didn't raise her right. That means at some point in her household, her pop was like, hey, Cindy, shut up. Like she was raised knowing that sometimes it's time to shut up. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. And as for those stories, most women are not good storytellers. Hey, ladies, yeah, gentlemen, play this for her. I know you ain't got the heart to tell her. I'll tell her. You don't know how to tell a story, okay? So if you must tell a story, make it as brief as possible because 9 out of 9 is not interesting. 9 out of 9, it ain't even got a point. 9 out of 9, you about to branch off to 4 or 5 other unrelated stories just to finish this one story that actually has no point, okay? Keep it brief. So before you start talking, ladies, ask yourself, what information do I need this man to know? What's the punchline? Ideally, just put that up at the front, okay, so we can tune out for the rest of it. But if you must put it at the end, just get to it. Make sure the punchline's actually there. Nobody want to hear your long story. Shoot. Especially about your friends. I can't remember their name. I ain't never met them. And your cousin, I don't know her. Like, it's like reading a book with too many characters. You just be getting lost. Like, oh, yes. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, which one was that? Okay, Tanisha. Yeah, that was your cousin or your auntie? Like, yeah, just stop with the damn stories. Shut up sometimes.
Okay, Jay said, is a female who says she wants to be the breadwinner a red flag?
It's an interesting concept. The challenge is that women say a lot. People say a lot of things. Let's put people say a lot of things. Women also say a lot of things. And you really can't take them at their word because respectfully, most of them don't know what they're talking about. I know a lot of women who say that they get the bag, but they don't really have a sense of what the bag is, meaning an amount. You see, women, for example, let's take Las Vegas as an example. I know women who go out every single weekend in Las Vegas, but they have not the foggiest idea of what it costs to go out in Las Vegas. In reality, if you go to Las Vegas and you're a woman, you might be able to get on a guest list and get into the club for free. If you're not getting into the club for free, then at a minimum, let's say there's a DJ there or there's a musical artist there, your admission's $100 minimum. Then you get in, the drinks are $20 a pop. And you know how these girls drink. They're going to drink about 3 or 4 drinks. So now we're at about $200. Oh, yeah, and you drove to the club, didn't you? Okay, so we valeted the car. That's about $30. That's just the valet fee. That's no tip. Okay, so now we add about $230, right? Oh, but we went to dinner earlier today because you can't just go to the club. We got to eat first. Okay, that was about $200, right? Because you ate in Vegas. You also had a couple glasses of wine because you was a thought, and that's what y'all do. So that was 230 for dinner. That was about 200 for dinner, and that was 230 for your little club experience. So now we have 430. This is just Friday night. We have $430. This is just Friday night, and we're gonna rewind it, do the whole same thing again on Saturday night. We damn near spend $1,000 on a weekend in Vegas. But as a super thought, you don't know that. So as a female, you didn't have one group of guys or one guy take you out for dinner. Y'all didn't pay the check. Then you had a guy pay for you to get in the club. He drove you or he called the Uber. And you didn't float it on the whole way for free. So you don't know the value of a dollar and you don't know the cost of anything. So when women say they're getting to the bag, they don't have a sense of what the bag is. To be able to spend $1,000 every weekend, so say that's like your going out budget as a thought is like $6,000 a month. So you're spending about $70,000 a year just on socializing. So if you're spending $70,000 a year just to socialize, this doesn't include vacations and holidays or expenses and living and mortgage and things like that. You gonna need about $500,000 income per annum just to live the way the chick wants to live, for her IG life, her Instagram life. So I say that to say this: women say they got the bag, but they don't really know what the bag is because they don't even know what their own lifestyles cost. That being said, when Shorty says she wants to be the breadwinner, in my experience, most women don't want to work. They're extremely lazy. Men are lazy as well, but I don't usually end up managing men. Women are very lazy. You have to force them to work. That's why a HOE needs a P, and it really is what it is. I'm not saying you need to whoop her head, but I'm saying she gonna be to that blade on time and early when she got a P. She ain't got a P, she gonna be broke to half the time. I can't tell you how many of these chicks are in the sex industry, whether they're strippers or otherwise, and they broke. Like I'm in Amsterdam right now, right? There's a red light district. If you go during the day, half of the stalls, way more than let's say 80% of the stalls are empty because these chicks don't want to work. They want to go at night when you're getting heavy foot traffic because they think they're going to make more money. No, you dumb goofball broad. You're not going to make more money because when you go out at 9 p.m. into your little window and stay there during prime hours, that's also when the other thoughts are there. So now there's more competition and there's more guys going around. They got options. So you're not actually helping yourself. You're disadvantaging yourself. If you had some real hustle, you'd have woke up early and went and gotten that red light box at 10 a.m. And when those Johns walked through, you'd have been catching them because they ain't got no options but you. And you get to set your own price because they can't go to your window and say, oh, 200 euros. Oh, no, I'm going to go next door to Shorty. She'd do it for 150. They can't do that. So if you had some game and some drive, you would have got out there when the other girls weren't out there. But you ain't got that because you're going to need a P to put that in you. So I say that to say women are lazy. She says she want to be the breadwinner. She don't even know what that add up to. 9 out of 9. Carrying on.
Okay, we have Tony said, where do you find low-key, well-off, and attractive women? This seems to be a paradox and oxymoron, but is it probable to find this kind of woman who isn't for the streets?
So he says well off and attractive and low key. Well, damn, Tony. I mean, the man wants it all, don't he? Good Lord. Tony said, I need it all. She needs to be a dime, rich, and know how to stop talking. Good Lord, my boy. I suppose they're out there. So number one, there's certain places where you find wealth, and there are other places where you don't find wealth. So when you have wealth, you're gonna be in first class. And women who are in first class are more likely to fit this description. When you have wealth, you'll be in Monaco, you'll be in Dubai. The women are going to be there. When you have wealth, you're going to eat at Michelin restaurants. The women are going to be there. You're going to go to fashion shows. The women are going to be there. You're going to attend galas. The women are going to be there. You're going to get introduced to women because you are the one that they're seeking. You're a successful, wealthy young man, and everyone's going to want to make an introduction or have you for themselves. So they'll be there. It'll be easy to find. One of your greatest tasks is not dumpster diving. We do it all the time as males. By dumpster diving, I mean you were in a rush, you stopped at the Burger King drive-thru, now you hollering at the girl that worked there. It's not appropriate. You went to go check into the 5-star hotel, now you hollering at the receptionist. It's not appropriate.
Okay, we have Brandon said, is it wrong that I'm pushing kickboxing to the side to mainly put more time on business, still going to the gym? Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints. I mean, it depends on what your priorities are. I say you should have areas in the goals in the areas of health, wealth, and relationships, and you have to order those, right? And the order may change depending on the season of life that you're in. If the financial goal is the most important one to you, then hey, that's the one you got to invest the most time and energy into. Priorities change.
Okay, we have Ahmad said, peace to the saints. The white girl skit was hilarious, Saint. If you're trying to get to know a girl and she's not reciprocating energy, should you just disappear? What if she asks what's going on? Should you explain?
Bruh, this is a great question. Number one, I appreciate that compliment. And for those of you who haven't seen, I got a new little short out on YouTube, and feel free to share it. That really does help, especially because YouTube kind of like has been clamping down on me since I did a certain recent video. Number one, I encounter a lot of women who try to come into my sphere for whatever reason. Some cases they might just like the way you dress. Other cases they might just be an actual groupie or a fan. In other cases, they just might be indiscriminate. They'll deal with anyone who wants to deal with them. Whatever the case is, if I find that I'm pouring into her, but she's not pouring back into me, then it's just not worth my time. If you're trying to have a conversation with a chick who doesn't seem interested in creating the conversation, you ask her a question, she never asks you a question back, then I'll go ahead and leave her on the curb. And the reason for that is, you have to have some level of self-respect, but most importantly, don't you want to enjoy the relationship as well? If she can't hold a conversation today, surely she won't be able to hold a conversation next week because she's not about to become a different person. And so you don't want to have to deal with that kind of exhaustion where you're constantly like making a heavy lift just to get basic conversation and to get to know her.
Okay, none of the above said, not a fan of them pedestalizing their bisexuality. Unsure if this was ever covered.
That's a good one. And the last piece of that last super chat, he writes, if she asks, what's going on, should I explain? You should only explain if it's to your advantage. You shouldn't explain to express yourself because truth be told, who cares about your emotions and how you feel? No one. But if you're utilizing the explanation strategically to get her to open up or to, get with your program, then yeah, explain. If you don't think it's going to do anything, don't waste time. Get her to the curb. She gets no explanation. Next one. Here we go. So yeah, I don't like to deal with bisexual girls. I actually try to avoid it because I just feel like you're opening yourself up to tremendous numbers of STDs because men and women, when they have intercourse, a man can wear a condom. When female to females have sexual experiences, there's usually no protection being used. And furthermore, a chick who's bisexual is indiscriminate. She pretty much down for whatever. You heard me? So I'm going to try to avoid them at all costs. Not to say I ain't been caught slipping. I probably dealt with some of them and didn't even know that they were swinging on both sides of the fence. But I try to stay away from it.
Okay, Nick sent a cash app. He said, peace to the saints, straight truth. I find women tend to be inconsistent and uncommitted to their words, no matter if I treat them well or not. So I'm often on center time. How do I take advantage of this?
The question is, how do you take advantage of them not being true to their word or take advantage of you being on center time? The key is that the more a woman is interested in you, the more leeway she's going to provide you. So if she's not really interested in you, then basically any mistake you do will get you fired from the job.
Okay, on Cash App, Tyrone came in. He said, thanks for the ism. I'm in Greece, ancient history.
You dig. You did.
On PayPal, we have Linus is back. He said, why will women say that men will end a relationship because they're insecure about the fact that she's making more money than him, when in actual fact, the woman is the one that has the biggest issue with the man that isn't outperforming her and in a more superior position?
People say all kinds of things. People always have a story. Here's the thing. 9 out of 9, when a woman's making more money than you, she's the one who has the issue. And what's worse is that women become tyrannical when they're in a position of dominance. If they're in a position of financial dominance or advantage, generally they're going to become tyrannical. There are very few women that are so feminine, sweet, in which that they can make more money than you and still be respectful and not try to usurp your leadership. So mostly it's going to be them that have the issue.
Okay, you asked Nick what he was referring to. He said both.
Got it.
Okay, Harry said, "Peace to the saints. If a female lets you smash the first night, would you automatically categorize her as a side piece?"
I wouldn't automatically categorize her as a side piece, but I would damn sure be thinking like that was some real side piece-ish behavior. And as they say, if it talks like a, then it's probably a. So I would definitely log that piece of data and keep an eye out, because it's probably likely that that wasn't her first time doing it on the first night. You dig? What we don't want to do is be so arrogant as to think that we're special. They're going to lie to you and say, "Oh, you took my virginity," or "Oh, I've never done that with anyone before. You were my first." These are all generally lies that they like to tell. So I would just keep my eyes open.
Okay, we have Alpha Music said, "Peace to the saints. Shout out to the big homie, the one and only. Always a pleasure catching a live stream. Quick question: is the big homie releasing more music?"
Absolutely. I'm jotting down bars all the time. I was just recently jotting down a bar. So yeah, I'm trying to get some more beats lined up, and I want to release a more thoughtful uh, album for this third one. I wanted to kind of the whole thing to flow through like in a very linear way, like almost like from child all the way to adulthood. I want to get back on this player stuff. You dig? I was thinking about doing a couple different types of albums. One of them I was thinking of doing was going to be called Prison Bars. Um, and that would just be like a real rough mixtape, just straight bars, no production value because I was just going to record it while I'm traveling, so not even on studio mics. Then I thought of doing another kind of album, which was called For the Gram, right? Where I'm telling stories, but they're all fictional stories. So like the whole album is just all fake stuff. Um, so yeah, we'll see what I actually end up doing.
Carry on.
Here we go. Next one. Oh, yes. Number 12, excessive phoniness. There's a flag on the plate. Excessive phoniness. Yeah, they're all guilty of it. What are we talking about? We're talking about them long fingernails, the fake ones, them long eyelashes, the fake ones, and even fake complexions. Like that's when it gets to a crazy level. It's like Shorty got a fake complexion. She done went and hopped in the spray tan joint. Now she got like gingerbread man skin. You feel me? She lay in your bed and get out the bed. She done left a brown outline. It's getting outrageous out here. Ain't nothing real about them. How you got fake hair, fake skin, you done fake eyebrow, that you got fake eyelashes, fake contact lenses, you done got what's it called? Bluff surgery?
Bluff. Just say bluff.
Bluff. Yeah, you done got that. You got the cheek implants. What is this? When they puff them cheeks up?
Fillers.
Fillers. You done got fillers in the cheeks. You done got your lip fillers as well. You done got your jaw reshaped. I mean, god dang. So yeah, excessive phoniness. It's like, dang, Shorty, nothing about you is real. We're living in a science fiction movie right now. You're a creation of a doctor. Like, whoa. You gotta look at their baby pictures, see how ugly they are. You dig? And the thing for me, I don't care if Shorty then went to Columbia and got her nose job and all this other stuff. It's like, I don't even rock with you. Like, you might even be almost bad right now, but to me, you always gonna be ugly. You got that ugly girl energy. I can't even mess with it because I feel like spiritually we don't mix. Like, I don't want to mix with a chick that's like damn near a mutant. I don't want to mix with that kind of mutant energy. Yeah, it's not cool. Stay away from me. Anyways, yeah, excessive phoniness. I know you're a female, you're gonna be phony at some level. You makeup or whatever, high heels, you're gonna be phony at some level. Just try to keep it under control. Carrying on. Because the thing is, like, ladies, I know you've heard this before, I hope. You can't be fake while seeking a real man, right? You want a man like me that's super official. You don't want to be superficial. You dig? Now, number 13, this is an important one. I think Dylan had actually phrased this one for us. It's essentially the excessive pursuit of leisure. Oh, yeah, she always wants to have fun. Yeah, she wants to have a spa day. Well, hey, baby, how about a work day? How you always having spa days? You don't ever have a work day. Don't you know that you got to work before you go on vacation? These are the type of broads, they get the job, and after they get the job, the boss is like, "Do you have any questions for me?" She's like, "Yeah. How much vacation time? When's vacation starts?" Like, God dang, shorty, you ain't even earned no vacation time. And when they're talking about hanging out, you're like, "Oh, what do you want to do?" Quote, "Let's do something fun." End quote. It's like, dang, shorty, life ain't always about fun. Sometimes life is about building. And if you can enjoy that as fun, fantastic. Because I enjoy working. But 9 out of 9, you won't, because that's not how women are wired. But if you can endure it, that'll be a good woman. So don't be excessively focused on leisure. And also, I want you gentlemen to know leisure is expensive. You did? Like these chicks, they want to go to Tulum and the whole nine, and they forget, like, dang, we got to get this flight. Yeah, my flight, her flight. We got these hotels. And, they want the nice hotel, I imagine, because they want to feel safe, right? So you ain't going to be slumming it. Then when they get there, what they want to do? They in Morocco, so they got to ride camels. Yeah, they in Dubai, so they got to ride jet skis. They in Tulum, so they got to go see the pyramid. It's like, God dang. So they're trying to stay in fun mode and enjoy a leisure activity, but they don't help you make money. They help you spend money, but they're not helping you make money. So, ladies, here's my advice to you. Help your man make some serious money before you want to spend some serious money. And it's not like you helped him make $1. Now you're going to spend $1. It's like, no, you helped him make $1. Now you want to spend 30 cents of the dollar. Yeah, think of it like that, because we still need something to hold on to, something to save, something to invest.
Okay, we have Cartier said he sent an additional $1. He realized that it's $6
Okay.
enough, so that's respect.
Shout out.
He said, receiving some ism while on my break from schoolwork. Just wanted to say I deeply appreciate the wisdom I consumed from you over the years. Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints. I appreciate that. And shout out to the young men being raised on this ism. This is really how we make the world a better place. And I appreciate those of you who take it seriously and put it to use, both the men and the women.
Alpha Music is back. He said, I do produce instrumentals, so if the big homie is looking for beats, feel free to pick any and as many as you want. It's on the house.
That's love right there. That's love. Let me make a note real quick. Alpha Music.
Khalil sent a super sticker.
Shout out to Khalil. He came in with a strong super sticker. Alpha Music with the beats. Okay.
Carry on.
Oh, this is a big one. Ladies, and gentlemen, do play this for your lady. And if she fat in the right places, that's a beautiful thing. If she fat in the right places, you did. If she fat in the wrong places, yeah, that's really disappointing. If it's your wife, I'm going to blame you. But if it's not your wife, low-key, you probably just want to kick her to the curb. But look, if it's your wife, you need to be leading her to greater things. If you get up to go to the gym and get your 30 minutes of sweat, she gonna come with you. You dig? And that's not optional. So let her know that, because we don't deal with them chubby ones. I hope you guys ain't out there chubby chasing. It's just not righteous. But look, one thing, ladies, don't you ever do this. I don't ever, I don't ever want to see you eat more food than me. No. And I don't care if I'm 6 foot and you 6'4". I don't care. Don't you ever put more food on your plate than is on my plate. I don't ever want to see that. It's not acceptable. And I remember one time I was with a young lady, skinny little blonde white girl, very thin. Body was crazy. Boy, I'm talking about a model body with the wide hips. Anyways, there was one time we were having a meal and it was like, there were like 2 pieces of salmon and she had gave herself the bigger piece. And it was like, it's not like I was hungry like that. It was just like the principle, like, wow. It wasn't even the selfishness of it, because that is selfish, but it was more so like, wow, shorty, like you're really serving yourself more food than me. That's not motherly instinct. That's not feminine. Like, why are you eating that much? I don't know if you're about to go in the bathroom and yak it back up. I don't know, but Whatever the case is, that's extremely tacky for a woman to eat more than a man. Now, granted, there may be some strange circumstances. Maybe he just ate, he not eating much. Well, then, shorty, you just gonna have to be hungry because you don't need to eat more than him. I'm sorry. Say something.
Okay, Manuel came in on Cash App. He said, "Peace to the saints."
Peace to the saints.
We have Sisto came in on Cash App. He said, "Tuition, peace to the saints." Visto in the chat.
Shout out to Beast, though. Here's another one. Confusing roles in nature, which is when the woman wants to behave or rather speak as though the male and the female have the same nature, which we don't. You'll sometimes hear women say this in conversation, things like, quote, well, why is it okay for men to be promiscuous, end quote. Well, it's not okay for men to be promiscuous, but it is more in line with the masculine nature that men would tend to seek more than one sexual partner. It is not in the female nature. And in fact, we know that we're not wired in the same way because how many men can a woman be pregnant by at once? One man, period. There's some small, very minuscule chances that this can be, untrue. But generally speaking, for 99.9% of the cases, a woman can only be pregnant by one man at a time. Conversely, how many women can a man get pregnant at a time? An infinite amount. I could go out tonight and get 20 chicks pregnant. You dig? And I do have energy like that, just in case anybody wondering. I do. So it's basically just the limit to his energy. So that is an indication that men are meant to go forward and spread that seed. And in fact, the male keeps producing semen all the way through. Now, he might not be able to get it up at certain ages. Now, my pop, he was knocking him dead till he was dead. I repeat, my pop was knocking him dead till he was dead. No Viagra needed. So, I'm gonna be wearing it out till I'm like probably like 50, 60. You dig? 60. Oh no, don't give me that Viagra. You give me that Viagra, I'm going crazy. Whereas women after age, and they can get the woman pregnant, still at age 60 as a male. Women at age, they creeping up in the mid to late 30s. It's winding down. We the sun's setting. So it's a clear difference. And women mostly know this, but it's the ones that are misguided who would question this obvious reality. And those are the ones that are most dangerous. Now, if they're just saying it, in some playful talk, it's fine. But if they're a true believer in this, this is a signal of many bad things. This is a signal that it's not that she thinks men and women are equal. She thinks men and women are the same. And that's dangerous. We're of equal worth, but we're not the same. So that's one of the very most dangerous things you can hear from a woman. We're winding down right now. Unless you have more thoughts, questions, comments, I advise you to send me your thoughts, questions, comments, or points now. Number 17, they believe being successful in masculine pursuits will impress us. And shout out to Dylan. And what we mean by this is, the woman likes you because you're ambitious. She likes you because you earn well. So then she thinks that the way she's impressed with you because you earn well, that you'll be impressed with her because she earns well. Nah, doesn't work like that, love. One of the major reasons is that we're not impressed with you when you earn well is because you're not sharing it. We'll go make $1 million and we'll spend that money on you. We'll take you on trips, buy you clothes, buy you food. But women generally, when they get their money, they're a little bit stingy with it. They ain't trying to pay for a man. They trying to just keep it. Trying to keep it. So it doesn't really matter what they earn. Furthermore, if a man goes out and gets a PhD, he's going to convert that to gainful employment. A woman gets a PhD, she's just converting that to her talking a lot more than you want her to talk. And more importantly, we're not really looking for an educated woman. We're looking for a woman who's educated on how to cook up a good meal, how to maintain a household, how to be a good listener and supporter. We want her educated on those things. I really could not care less if you're educated on sociology or African American studies. So when they brag about their education, they think it's impressive, but low key, it's mostly a turnoff. Yeah, there it is. So we don't want you displaying traits of ambition outside of the household in the workplace, trying to be a corporate boss, an entrepreneur. Nah, we not impressed. We ain't buying it. And low key, if the chick is an entrepreneur, she's out in a man's environment competing with men. You can be sure that she's also going to end up having the excesses that men experience, which in that corporate power position is going to be a lot of infidelity. Go ahead.
Talal said, pay attention, class is in session. Peace to the saints.
Peace
The
to
big
the
homie
saints.
spitting game you'll never find anywhere else.
Mm.
Paying my overdue tuition. Recently became a Patreon member. More tuition coming, Mr. Burton.
Thank you very much, Saint. And this is a lot of good game here, practical stuff for men and women. So, feel free to share this information with your lady. And if you ain't got the heart to tell her, just play the video. Just say, hey, sit here, just listen to this. And just walk away and then just come back an hour later and just like, what'd you think? What'd you think? Just leave a notepad with her. Then come back. Hey, what'd you think? Did you write any of that down? Oh, here we go. Number 18. Oh, yeah. Expect us to care about petty female stuff. Yeah. Every now and then I make the error of I'm like, hey, look, check out this knockout. I'm looking at a knockout on YouTube, in a boxing match or a knockout in a street fight. Like, hey, shorty, check this knockout out. Women are nice people. They'll humor you. Someone might be interested. 9 out of 9, they're probably not, but they'll check it out. Men, we tend to be more selfish. So ladies, I want you to be aware, just because you might be willing to look at our stuff doesn't mean we want to look at your stuff. So for sure, when you're on your phone, like, oh, babe, look at this. Like, it's Chrissy Teigen's Instagram story. Look at what Chrissy Teigen just cooked John Legend. And in my head, I'm like, hold on. Do you know Chrissy Teigen? Like, is that a friend? No, who is Chrissy Teigen? She's John Legend's wife. Oh, so she's only famous because she's John Legend's wife? Like, why do I care about her? Like, nobody cares about her. Like, her actual name is not Chrissy Teigen. Her actual name is John Legend's wife, and she's not important. I don't care about her. Oh, and guess what? John Legend, yeah, I don't care about him either. Like, yeah, we're just ordinary people. Like, that's the only song I know. Like, nobody cares about John Legend. Is he's still alive? Yeah, I don't care. Anyways, why are we watching Chrissy Teigen's story? Please stop showing me this. So it's torture, okay? We don't care about what you care about. Chrissy Teigen, keeping up with the Kardashians, soap operas, whatever else is on your mind, all your cosmetic thing, and we don't care, okay? Just keep it to yourself. And here's the key to having friends. Ladies, I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. Oh, no. Your friend, her name probably Kate, Sarah, Wendy, Tina, Shaniqua, Sharkeisha, Talisha, anything with an Isha. That's your friend. I'm the big homie. There's some things I just don't care about. I don't want to know about. All right. I don't even want to know about your menstruation unless I'm about to smash. You need to talk about that. Talk to homegirl about that. Talk to your mom about that. Certain things just is not my business. Okay. I don't need you announcing unnecessary things. All right. Cool. Like, put it this way. If I'm on a business trip and I'm like way out in Spain and you're in LA, I'm on my period today. Whoa. Like, I'm not even about to smash. Like, I'm in a whole different continent. Like, yo, chill with that. Like, tell that to somebody else. That's not a conversation topic. Yeah. So there you go. Your petty female conversations, talk to your friends.
Okay, Fully Cooley said, peace to the saints. What's your thoughts on women being hyper-focused on trivial things as opposed to being focused on genuine things in a relationship?
Shout out to Fully Cooley. Been a little while. So when you say hyper focused on trivial things, you're saying trivial things within the relationship, I'm assuming. That is the nature. Women are detail oriented and they don't forget anything, especially if it's a negative thing. They're going to remember it damn near verbatim. So that's their nature. That's one of those things that you just got to accept. It is what it is. When you say, why are they not focused on genuine things in the relationship? Well, a part of your leadership is, pointing them back to what the big picture is. And that's not only in relationships, that's in business and their financial or career pursuits, like letting them know, hey, this is what you got to worry about. Like, don't trip out on your colleague Tasha, who you don't like, and Tasha sleeping with the supervisor and trying to turn people against. Like, don't worry about all that. You're trying to get promoted to this job title. You need to do X, Y, and Z. Keep them on the big picture. That's your leadership. Now, if she's rejecting leadership and they continue to focus on the trivialities, then that's something that might have you recategorize this girl as a side piece or a one hitter quitter. Because if they're not focusing on the big picture aspects of the relationship, that means they're probably not trying to grow the relationship. And this happens. There are women who literally will sleep with you, but they don't see a future with you. Sounds so bad, but it's 2022 out here, and that's how they live in.
Okay, we have Juan said, peace to the saints, tuition paid.
Peace to the saints. Appreciate you.
Alpha Music is back. He said, big homie, will you make a video on 20 things women do that men love? I'd appreciate this lesson. I think it'd make it easier to identify a good woman.
That was interesting. Okay. Oh, that's actually a really good one. How about this? Yeah, I think I like that title. So yeah, we can get that done.
Cisco came back on Cash App with more tuition.
Shout out to Sister. Okay, we must be kicking some game.
Tony's back. He said another one is a woman that is too clingy, trying to cuddle, kiss me too much, and just all over me. Thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, number one, it depends on what kind of man you are, and that's why I didn't include that, because there's some guys who are very emotive. You know, they're very physical. Like, I actually don't like being touched. I know that in that regard I'm unique. I don't like being touched. I don't like people bumping into me. I don't like being touched. I don't even like holding hands. I don't like kissing. I don't like holding hands. None of it. I don't like any of it. I'm not very affectionate individual. So yeah, you know, you need to articulate to the woman where you stand in terms of what your level of physical touch or affection is, and have some communication. But check this out, because you're one way doesn't mean she's about to be that way. So if she can't meet you at a middle ground, you're going to have ongoing challenge, and you have to ask yourself, is this something I can accept? Now, when you say one that's too clingy, remember some of these traits with women, they have a positive side. You know, your woman who wants to be up under your arm, she's doing you the favor of making it clear that, you know, she's with you, so other guys don't kind of get involved unnecessarily when they see her out in the public. So that's kind of the beneficial side.
Okay, Marcus already sent money earlier, so I'm going to read this even though it's
Sure.
less than the $6. He said, thoughts on women who put sex as a top priority when dealing with a man. Peace to the saints.
Slores, side girls, one hitter quitters, never a main piece, wouldn't even consider it. They will only bring harm and destruction to you and themselves.
Okay, we have Hakeem sent $50.
Baller alert.
He said, for a first consultation on starting a product-based business, what would you recommend I brush up on besides conference 1 and 2, as well as your video on Patreon? I sent a PayPal that you did not receive by credit card. Do you know what could have happened? This is one of the messages on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what could have happened. I would check your PayPal activity and make sure that the payment didn't go out, and then go from there. With regards to coming in prepared for a product-based business consultation, I'd say the number one thing is, if you have multiple ideas, have them all queued up and ready to explain sharply. And generally, you want to think of a product in terms of like, how does this make money? So always, in addition to describing what the product is, describe the revenue model, which is to say, this makes money by fill in the blank, subscriptions, one-time purchase, whatever it is. Too often I talk to entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs, and they're so juiced on what the product is, but they don't explain how it makes money or what the price is. And that's critically important.
I don't know if you gave him the alert that he deserves for sending $50.
I didn't give him a baller alert. I'm
I'm
pretty
not
sure I did, but it's
Give
okay to give him
There
another
you
one.
go.
Baller alert. Indeed.
Okay, Beasto said he asked a question in the chat. I'm not seeing it.
Post it
Beasto,
again.
if you post it again, we'll read it.
Absolutely. Just post that bad boy again.
Because there was nothing on the Cash App comment.
Yeah. And side note, I had the most disgusting, what was called a granola cracker today. Man, it was disgusting. It must have been health. It must have been super healthy. You know, I'm not saying healthy food is disgusting, but this stuff was so disgusting. I was like, how are they selling this? This must have some tremendous vitamins in it. I feel like I should be able to float or fly or lift a building after eating that. It was so nasty. Number 19. This is a funny one. I saw a couple folks reference this one. Here's some good game. I hope you really do share this point with your lady. One thing we do not like is being helpful at the wrong time. See, that's the caveat. Being helpful is good, but being helpful at the wrong time is bad. I often remind ladies around me that this is a one person job. Some jobs are simple enough that only one person needs to do it, either you or her. If she's doing it, if you're going to do that, don't ask for my help or advice. That's a simple job. Like ironing a shirt, I don't need you asking me questions about it while you're doing it. Just do it. Like Nike said. Now, on the other hand, if there's a situation where I'm doing something and I specifically have identified this as a one person job, do not try to take over when I'm already doing it. I'll give you an example, and you'll probably be like, "Oh yeah, I've experienced something like that with women." So say you get into a hotel, right? And you guys want to turn on the television, watch some TV. All these hotels have different TVs, different remotes. So she grabs the remote and she's trying to like change the channel or pull up the channel guide. She can't do it. So she's doing it and doing it, can't do it till she finally says, "Oh, Marquette, can you figure out how to pull up the channel guide?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." So I get the remote. I'm looking through it, all the buttons, trying to like scan through to see where I want to start. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, well, did you try?" I'm like, "Whoa, you already had your shot. You didn't pass this over to me. Balls in my court. Stay over there. Let me figure this out. I don't need you poisoning my divine thoughts with these impurities because you don't know the answers. You don't know the answers, Sway. Don't try to like tell me what to do or try to help because you already tried it. Now I'm doing this. This is a one-person job. We don't need two people to figure out the guide button on the remote. This is a basic thing. It's not a team sport right here." So those are the kind of situations I make very clear to her. Like, this is a one-person job because it becomes less efficient when two people are doing it. But remember, the female nature is to be cooperative and collaborative. And so they're used to like collaborating, communicating, and cooperating. And so when you tell them, like, "Hey, it's a one-man band that's going to get this done," sometimes it's like not quite what they're expecting or what they're used to, but they can adjust to it. And that's an important thing for them to know.
Okay, Besos cash up question is Saint, can you break down the psychology why women are obsessed with watching murder mysteries?
That's a really good question. I bet there's something really deep to it, and it would be worth me taking out more time to research and ponder. But in short, I will say that number one, women like drama, and that is the height of drama, murder, right? That's the height of drama. Number two, human beings are fearful little animals. Certainly, women are more fearful than men. And, in watching these kind of horrendous things, it's like one, they get to see their fears played out. And two, they feel like they get to see it at a safe distance and at some level probably like figure out or plan or like, what would I do kind of situation. And the last piece is that there's subconscious drivers, right? So, when you got women that are watching the Jeffrey Dahmer series religiously, there's obviously some subconscious drivers there. But one thing we know about humankind is that we're weird, right? Like we like to go to roller coasters so that we can get scared in the roller coaster, or we watch scary movies so that we can experience a thrill. We're seeking emotional variation. We want to feel something new, something different.
Okay, we have Bantu sent $50 or €50.
Baller alert. The
Said-
ballers are out here.
It's a piece to the Saints. Appreciate you sharing game with the world. Salute from Rotterdam, which we were just talking about.
I was just talking about Rotterdam, man. It's lovely, very respectful women out there. So shout out to the Saints in the Netherlands.
Okay, we have Aslam sent tuition on Cash App.
Shout out.
On PayPal, Darren came in. He said, tuition. Saint, my trainer invited me to a Halloween party last night. While there, his girlfriend got slizzard and became extremely touchy-feely. At some point, became blatantly obvious that the girlfriend and her sister were competing for my attention. I could tell my trainer was bothered. We have a professional relationship, not exactly friends yet. Should I tell him his girl is a slore and she needs to be checked, or let him put it together? For context, I was the only piece of chocolate at the party. It was very vanilla. Peace to the Saints.
He said, for context, that was not even necessary. Look, brethren, number one, that's one of the many reasons I don't like alcohol. You see, there are people like me who are who they are regardless. Then there's the majority of humankind. They're repressed. They consume alcohol and it removes inhibition. And so they go for what they really want. and you find that their dark desires and nature becomes unleashed, and it can be scary and disappointing and dangerous. And we saw that she wanted her taste of the dark, that dark meat. And that's cool, except that she puts you in a bad position. And the sad thing, she ain't even have enough decency to like keep it together in front of her man. You see, there's really nothing you can do in that situation except keep it player. Because here's the thing: if you were to try to school him, 9 out of 9, he ain't gonna accept that game, because if he already was like accepting to that type of game, he'd have probably already had that game. And if he had that game, he wouldn't have that dame, a chick who's gonna be like showing other men attention just because she had her a little bit of henny. So it's unlikely that that game is not gonna fall on deaf ears. Hence, probably go ahead and save that. Um, and I've experienced this kind of thing. It's very disheartening because it you don't know what to do, right? Sounds like you're a good guy.
Okay, Dimitri said, peace to the saints. Another sample of the bathrobe has been shipped. It should arrive by next week. I'll keep you updated if any changes occur. Thank you for all that you do, big homie. Glide, not grind.
In a real way. Shout out to Dimitri. Bruh, I was just thinking about you in that bathrobe earlier today. I was like, what's up with him and what's up with product? So I'm excited to check this out.
Okay, Donovan said, peace to the saints. Marquette, can you make a video about how to choose the correct officials for your city and state? My city is Charlotte, North Carolina, and I don't know how to choose a reliable or at least reliable enough governor, mayor, etc.
Now, that's a tough one because the sources of, when you create a video, you want it to stand the test of time so that people can use it over time and they can apply to their specific situation. And I don't think that, you know, electoral politics and the way you get information about the candidates is consistent across different municipalities, states, counties, etc. So like I'm afraid that that wouldn't necessarily help a ton of people. So that's kind of my fear. But the key is to get informed about the mayor, the judges being elected, the police chief, and all that good stuff, and do vote.
Okay, Joel Lick said tuition.
Chilicudo. Shout out. It's very consistent.
Carry on.
Truly. Okay, here we go. Number 20. Oh. I didn't even write. Somehow I just stopped writing at number 20. That's very strange. This is very strange. Okay. So the last thing that men hate that women do, I say that last thing is um, aimless, indiscriminately seeking attention, which is to say, the woman behaves as though anyone's attention will do. It's kind of like this: like food is good, but not all food is good for you. Ooh, I like that. Food is good, but not all food is good for you. And what I mean by that is, yeah, you have to eat to live, certainly, but you have a choice between McDonald's and nutritious food. So there's always that choice. And the important thing to understand about women is that food is good, but not all food is good for you. Women are great. Not every woman is good for you. Do you remember what that last point was? Number 20?
No, women are great for you.
Yeah, but it was before that. I'm going to connect them right now.
Food is good, but not all.
No, it was before that.
Women don't listen.
Nah. Women don't follow directions. Or they don't hear what you say, but to actually do what you say is a different thing. One of the saints, I'll give you a chance if you're sharp and you remember what that 20th point was, so we can connect it. Were you surprised when I said look in the mirror?
I don't know what it was.
Jabril says he came in via PayPal.
It's not in yet. was adults doing the job, but they're not answering what point number 20 was.
Right,
so
right.
not one person's answering what
I
number
know.
20 was.
They're gonna have to play it back. There we go. Health, music, entertainment has it. That's right. Women seeking all attention. The connection is that, and that's a nice aphorism, food is good, but not all food is good for you. And with women, when they seek anyone's attention, they're very dangerous. And they do it through various means, whether it's in person or it's on Instagram, and they might post up photos of them not wearing the appropriate amount of clothing, or they're constantly posting up stories trying to like be advertised and marketed to people in their network or even strangers. And when they're indiscriminate in seeking attention, that means that they're undervaluing their man's attention. They're basically saying, hey, my love tank will run on anybody's love. When really, a woman that is, top of the line, like say a Ferrari, you can't just put anything in a tank of a Ferrari. It has to be that racing fuel, has to be that high grade. When you have a woman that's not high grade, anything will do. She fill her love tank up with anything, anybody's attention. And that's what men hate, not only because it shows that she's cheap, but because it puts us in a bad position and puts us at risk when we're dealing with a woman who's basically advertising herself to a bunch of guys. And if she ends up with them physically, we might end up coming into conflict. So it's just a bad thing all around. So we do not like women who are seeking attention indiscriminately, dressing and scantily clad in the club, all the things that put both of us at risk. That's the last one. And that's why we say food is good, but not all food is good for you. Just like attention can be good, but not all attention is good for your woman. Only your attention is good for her.
Okay, and Jabril said PayPal, but looking at all the PayPals, we do not have one yet, unfortunately.
Yes. And it's ironic, Fresh and Fit are going to Vegas this week. No, I haven't had, they haven't tapped in. They do need to tap in, just give me a heads up, you dig officially. I don't know what they're out there for. Do let me know. Saints, it has been a pleasure to have this time of fellowship with you. Let us end with our tradition, the creed of the sass, and repeat after me with true conviction, knowing this is true of you. The creed of the assassin. I am going to be who I truly am because I am remarkable. And I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Until next time, peace to the saints.
We're going to acknowledge James. He said, you've helped me much in my relationship. Thanks. Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints. Thank you for sharing that, James.